A scan through Google's calendar of world events told me that today is Earth Hour Day. Observed worldwide, people are encouraged to unite in their efforts to save the planet. This might include turning off lights and unplugging electrical devices for, you guessed it, 1 hour. Not a bad idea at all. Hi, I'm Theodore Henry, and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. More facts in store for you today, so please stay tuned.
We're taking justice to the people of Jamaica.
I am Delroy Chuck, Minister of Justice. The plea bargain legislation has been passed. Many persons charged with serious crimes are spending several years behind bars. It did not have to happen. Accept responsibility for your wrongdoing. Get a lighter sentence. Watch your children grow. Please, don't gamble with your future.
A message from the Minister of Justice.
Hi there, I'm Simone Wolf with your JIS News on the Week. Senator Pernell Charles Jr. is now a cabinet member after being promoted to Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the cabinet change after assigning Minister Carl Samuda to have oversight of the day-to-day running of the Education Ministry while it undergoes an administrative review.
We will be looking at all aspects of the ministry where improvements are necessary to ensure that the delivery of the service that they will be done and done efficiently and as quickly as possible. That there is no need for anyone to have any sense of apprehension as to the future and the direction of the Ministry of Education.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has signaled that he intends to closely monitor the management of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information while it remains under his office's oversight.
For the next few months, I'll be spending some time with you, meeting with you one-on-one, meeting with the various agencies, just to ensure that the ministry is functioning and properly mandated and missioned.
Government will be starting the new financial year without an overdue bill for street lighting to the Jamaica Public Service Company. $2.1 billion was allocated in the third supplementary budget approved by the House of Representatives on Tuesday.
Based on this letter that I have dated the 4th of March from the JPS, after this $2.1 billion, the government of Jamaica will not have any arrears whatsoever with respect to street light to the JPS.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives also passed a resolution on Tuesday that raises the ceiling of the contingency fund for natural disasters from $100 million to $10 billion.
Those who are affected by natural disasters tend to be disproportionately those who are from the vulnerable sections of society, socially and economically vulnerable. And this blanket that we're providing will be for their benefit and indeed for the benefit of all Jamaicans.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness has tabled legislation to complete the merger of the National Youth Service, Apprenticeship Board, Jamaican Foundation for Lifelong Learning, and Heart Trust NTA.
What it does is create a stronger institution. Now you have one focused body dealing with training, youth attachment, and remediation.
The cultural economy in Accompong, St. Elizabeth has been boosted with the dispersal of 50 grants to small businesses in the community. The checks were handed over during a recent Economic Opportunities workshop put on by the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport.
And that is what these economic opportunities workshops are about. They're about preparing you, the people of Accompong, to earn and build prosperity from your awesome and rich maroon cultural heritage.
Over 2,300 residents served by the Font Hill water supply system in St. Thomas are now enjoying access to potable water, thanks to the newly installed 1,050-centimeter pipeline between Davis Mountain and Font Hill Square.
This project will enable the residents of Font Hill and surrounding areas to have water supply on a regular basis, but 3 days a week initially. As we develop the system, we will be able to extend that so that you will have water supplies, reliable water supplies to serve the communities for the full week.
And finally, out of many, one people is the design for the new Parliament building to be constructed in the National Heroes Park. The winner of the Houses of Parliament design competition also received the People's Choice Award on Wednesday.
The Parliament building is a working building. It is not a waste of taxpayers' money. The building is necessary to improve the governance of the country.
And those were some of the stories making news this week. I'm Simone Wolf.
April 1 is the start of the financial year, and in preparation, we have been sharing with you the estimates of expenditure for all government ministries. Today, we take a look at the allocation to the Ministry of Justice.
The justice sector will play a pivotal role in ensuring not only peace and justice, but prosperity for all of our people.
And the Ministry of Justice will be playing that pivotal role this year with the discharge of $10.24 billion. A judgment was made where a significant tranche of the capital budget will go towards the Justice Sector Reform Program. This $1.3 billion will be used to complete infrastructure work at the Supreme Court Public Building West. The project started in 2016 and should be completed in March 2020. This year's allocation will see the completion of the offices of the Director of Public Prosecution and the Court of Appeal.
I feel assured that these improved facilities will also contribute to a more timely dispensing of the decisions emanating from the court.
Another project receiving funding is the Justice Undertakings for Social Transformation, JUST. $33.9 million is set aside to conduct training for Ministry of Justice staff, create court performance indicators, and implement rules and procedures for parish and petty session courts, among other things. An additional $80 million is awarded to design solar units and buy audiovisual recording equipment for select courthouses. This is part of the Justice Security Accountability and Transparency Project, JSAT. $2.8 million is set aside for the Citizen Security and Justice Program. This will witness the provision of emergency assistance grants for 50 beneficiaries, along with counseling for children exposed to violence and trauma, and training of court officials, police officers, and justices of the peace.
It is our hope that these changes will deepen the confidence of Jamaicans in the justice system.
We want to be able to say that justice is easily accessible, and once it is accessed, that it can be delivered in a very short time, in a matter of weeks and months, rather than months and years.
This financial year, an oath was made to provide the ministry with $2 billion and the Justice Departments with $6.48 billion, all under the recurrent budget. That $2.06 billion will facilitate greater access to justice and include support for the Norman Manley Law School and the publication of the updated pages of the revised laws of Jamaica.
Regardless of the type of facilities we have, and the number of courts that we have, and the number of judges that we have, everyone has a role to play in making us become efficient and to utilize the courtroom, judicial time as efficiently as possible.
The following is brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency with kind support of NIA and USAID.
Criminal minds think they are cunning. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency have them running. Your friend a shout, come here. Take time running, because we ready for the ops. Drive up on your block, step out now me block, cyber take about your laptop. Pull up very lock. No evidence to drop. We put it in a cuffs and now we have the under. From your system, you better look out fit. When you move corrupt, better look out fit. Please say you get wet, look out fit. Look out fit. Look out fit. From your system, you better look out fit. When you move corrupt, better look out fit. Please say you get wet, look out fit. Look out fit. Look out fit.
The proceeding was brought to you by MOCA, the major organized crime and anti-corruption agency, with the kind support of NIA and USAID.
There are certain things that we automatically characterize as a man's job, like changing tires, don't? Well, maybe not, as women are more independent and empowered. For the women and men too, who are still trying to wrap their heads around the nuts and the bolts of changing tires, however, this next feature should be helpful.
I have absolutely no idea what this is or what it's even used for. But today on Autospot, I'm going to be learning all about tires, and who knows, I might even end up changing one myself.
A tire is a ring-shaped component that surrounds the rim, which helps to cushion the road feel and offer traction and stability of the vehicle. You have all-purpose tires, which can use in all terrain. You have wet tires. For wet tires, it's for like wet road condition. You can't use a dry tire in the wet season. You get slippage. For the tire to be completely functional, you need the rim, you need air to be inflated in the tire to get it to the correct air pressure so that it's suitable for road condition. A cold tire is when the temperature inside the tire is reduced to like normal road temperature. At that time is the correct time to check the air pressure within the tire to give you an accurate reading. For the hot tires now is when you're driving on the road for a long duration of time and the heat inside the tire builds up and increases the pressure inside the tire. Tire inflation is the pressure inside the tire, which can be in kilopascal, bars, or PSI. There's an instrument called the tire pressure gauge, which I have here with me. You use to take the tire pressure. I can demonstrate for you. First, we'll have to remove the dust cap from off the tire. Place the tire pressure gauge on the tire valve, and it automatically push out the tire pressure gauge and give you the correct reading.
The driver still needs to play a big role in the safety of the vehicle on the road. Now, we see a lot of vehicles coming into our premises at our body shop, and we see a lot of accidents that could have been easily prevented. People texting, people not paying due care and attention when they're on the road. Now, Jamaica had over 370 odd deaths last year on the road. The big target to get it under 300 this year, and that can easily be achievable if people just pay a bit more care and attention when they're driving on the road.
The tyre normally has a manufacture date on the side. From that date in which the tyre was produced, you can know when the tyre needs to be changed. Within 4 to 6 years of the manufacture date, the tyre is due for replacement.
But what if I'm on the road and I have a flat tire? What do I do?
Okay. The first step is to park the vehicle in a secure location, flat surface. Pull up the emergency handbrake, ensure that the vehicle don't run back or anything. Then you gather your tools, including a jack, lug tool for the job. Alright. Here you have the lug. You're gonna place the lug tool on that, ensure that the correct lug tool is fit perfectly, and you push it down in the anti-clockwise position. Okay. And you do that for all 5 lugs.
Okay, and it's usually 5 lugs?
No, some vehicles carry 4, some carry 5, some carry 6. But for this application, it's 5.
Okay. So what else do you do after that?
After you remove the lugs, you remove the complete wheel and you have it all for yourself. Then you go for your spare and place it back on here and screw on back. You tighten back your lugs.
Alright, so this is what you use to tighten it back?
Yeah, this is the lug tool.
So you're going in the other direction?
Yeah, clockwise. Turning. And you always tighten diagonal. Right, you tighten in a clockwise direction.
So which one? Which
clockwise.
one first?
It can be anyone, but you have to tighten it diagonal. This, then this, and this. Yeah. Cross and cross. So the tire go on, the wheel go on even. And then let down the vehicle, and then you finally torque the lugs to make sure that they are correctly tight.
Where do we usually find the spare tires?
Alright, depending on the vehicle type, sometimes the spare is under the vehicle and the back of the trunk or inside the trunk.
So it's not as simple as it seems, but it's clearly doable. It's all in a day's work, well, at least for a newbie like me. But really it should take about 10 to 15 minutes to change. I can promise you there's so much value in learning to get the job done. I certainly feel accomplished.
Now, I'm not known to be a blatherskite, so let me get right to it. A blatherskite is a person who constantly talks, usually about nothing important. Sometimes grandparents are referred to as blatherskites as they constantly share stories of their youth with anybody who will listen. But don't use this as an excuse not to listen to Mama Jane and Papa John, as there's usually much knowledge in the stories.
The Montego Bay Cultural Center opened its doors on July 11, 2014. It has a commitment to retaining Jamaica's rich history while promoting and developing its artistic treasures. Today, it is the home of the National Gallery West, which is an extension of the National Gallery of Jamaica and the National Museum West. It also hosts a multi-purpose town hall and Freedom Monument. The Freedom Monument chronicles the names of the slaves who were harshly sentenced for their participation in the Christmas Rebellion. National hero Sam Sharp was hanged on the front cobblestone of what is now the Montego Bay Cultural Center for his leadership of this rebellion. The Montego Bay Cultural Center focuses on edutainment. The experienced staff is equipped with the knowledge and enthusiasm to ensure your experience will be memorable.
One of the main goals I think all the entities and the cultural center itself has is the concept of edutainment. It's really not just about educating but also entertaining, making it not a place that needs to be a chore to visit for our school constituents.
Through an influx of cruise ship passengers along with local visitors, the center experiences a growing number of 800 to 1,000 visitors on a monthly basis. The National Museum West has an assortment of artifacts that speak to the history of Montego Bay and the wider Jamaica. Exhibits like From Montego Bay to the World capture the development of the city from the days of the Taínos onwards to independent Jamaica. Other exhibits spotlight important groups like the Rastafarians. When one moves to the National Gallery West, Jamaica's rich cultural heritage will continue to unfold through artistic creations. Along these walls, visitors will find works by Montego Bay-based artists Michael Lester and Marcia Biggs. Views from this spectacular interactive projection exhibit by David Gomes from Martinique are awe-inspiring. The Montego Bay Cultural Center is aiding the Ministry of Education in reintroducing civics in the curriculum. It has hosted a 2-week summer program for students, facilitating in-depth learning of the arts and/or culture. On your next visit to this dynamic facility, you are encouraged to take along any artifacts, historic information, or personal items that you may be willing to contribute to Jamaica's historic archives. The Montego Bay Cultural Center is being financed by the Tourism Enhancement Fund, but achieving sustainable funding is its ultimate goal. To help with that, the center operates a gift shop where you can purchase souvenirs and Montego Bay Cultural Center branded apparel. It also generates revenue through the car park, town hall, and the collection of admission fees. Admission to the center is $400 Jamaican or $8 US. Students and teachers enter free. It is opened Tuesdays to Sundays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So what are you waiting on? Visit the Montego Bay Cultural Center today and prepare to be educated.
Do you have a loved one, friend, or client who passed away since 1998? The Electoral Office of Jamaica needs your help to update the voters list with information for these persons, government agencies, churches, insurance companies, hospitals, and funeral homes, and you, the public. We want you to provide us with the records to confirm the status of these persons. Call the EOJ at 888-991-VOTE or visit the nearest EOJ office. For more information, visit our website at ecj.com.jm.
The judiciary is one of the 3 arms of the government and is responsible for administrating justice to the network of courts. An expanded Court of Appeal facility then will only help to make the system much more efficient.
Where there is no justice, the people perish.
On any given day, courts throughout the country render the decisions that impact the lives of many people. Our nation entrusts the courts as the final interpreter of the law. The Jamaican legal system is shaped by judicial chambers, such as the Traffic Court, Gun Court, Family Court, Revenue Court, Petty Sessions, the Resident Magistrates Court, the Supreme Court of Jamaica, and the Court of Appeal. Added to the efforts of those seated in these courthouses, the built environment largely impacts the pace of the wheels of justice.
There is too a strong recognition and appreciation that the wheels of justice turn slowly, but I might dare say it grind exceedingly fine. For indeed, dispensing justice is as much a function of the quality and integrity of our learned luminaries of law, and to that we as a nation are not only well endowed and boast a rich legacy of which we can be proud.
Part of that justice legacy is the newly renovated Court of Appeal building, located deep inside the bustle of our capital city, Kingston.
It is my pleasure to welcome you to the symbolic opening of Phase 1 of the expanded Court of Appeal building.
Today marks a significant chapter in the ongoing quest of the Ministry of Justice to upgrade and develop the country's court facilities. Our goal is for courtrooms to be beacons of hope and centers of excellence. Our mission is for our courts to deliver quality service and timely justice to our people.
I want to say how very happy I am with the expansion and relocation of the Court of Appeal. It is a milestone achievement which has significant implications for the people of Jamaica in terms of access to justice.
The $846 million Jamaican dollar structure was made possible through funding support from the European Union. It is outfitted with 3 new courtrooms, 14 judges' chambers, 2 lounges, an expanded registry, and other upgraded facilities.
I stand proud on behalf of the European Union and its 28 member states and share with you this great achievement in Jamaica's history. We are encouraged by these positive achievements, and based on the current rate of progress in implementation of indicators, it is highly likely that the sector will achieve progress.
The expansion was carried out by YP Seaton Contractors, whose detailed architectural plan will provide the nation with a much smoother course of justice.
And I want to congratulate YP Seaton, the architects, because they work 24/7, and most times during the day they could not work because the Court of Appeal was sitting. And so over 70% of the work that they did was actually done after 4 o'clock, right into the night. And believe me, what you will see, ladies and gentlemen, is what I consider to be first-class facilities.
But what does having a First World Court of Appeal mean for the people of Jamaica? And what of the hopes of those dispensing justice in our nation? The Court of Appeal is the highest appellate court in Jamaica, where persons who are dissatisfied with a decision of one of the other courts, except petty sessions, can appeal to. It is the hope of the Ministry of Justice that this renovation will greatly improve the case flow within the court.
And so, with the provision of this outstanding court, this outstanding edifice, the beginning of things to come, we will meet our goal of becoming the best in the Caribbean, one of the best in the world. And when we accomplish this, we will make Jamaica the place to live, work, do business, raise families, and the 5th one, retire in peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jamaica can be a peaceful place. It must be a peaceful place, and the justice sector will play a pivotal role in ensuring not only peace and justice, but prosperity for all of our people.
There are a number of other ways that we can dispose of our solid waste without using means that are harmful to the environment. For example, we can use a drum. All you do is just bore a hole in so you don't store any water, put your solid waste in. Our men are very capable of handling it. We can use cardboard boxes too to put our solid waste in, tape it up so that they stay together. Also, there are many establishments now that sell biodegradable bags, and we encourage the use of those bags. Plastic is very harmful to the environment, and we should seek as best we can to move away from it.
That's all the time we have for Jamaica Magazine today. Remember to keep abreast of all the latest happenings by visiting our website, jis.gov.jm. We can also be found on social media at any one of the handles that is on your screen. On behalf of the team here at the JIS, I'm Theodore Henry. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.